D29, Don Grace 29. Quick update video, well, call update video actually, and a short call update video. First off, we got Brian Black. You seen him already in the first video. Quick spin, you know. We don't go to face. Now, that's a face texture, and the shape of his lining for his hair, that's a texture too. Now, I love how Black came out this year. He came out, to me, the best he's ever come out as any game I made him in. And you see that tattoo right there, that Batman logo with the Night Never Sleeps. I made that paint tool in WWE 2K14 for the first time. And all I did was basically took a snapshot of that in the paint tool and erased everything around it and kept that paint tool as it is. And it actually looked good importing it as a picture. So instead of me having to recreate it myself from scratch, I just was able to use the actual paint tool. CM Punk tattoo on his chest. One of the reasons he got a chest tattoo now is because they don't have body hair in next gen, and I could not find a body hair texture. So yeah, didn't work out too well. So I did that. I covered up the little tail on the stomach, which you can tell because of the color of the logo that I got on the stomach. I couldn't get it to match too well, but it works out though either way. I don't have a problem with it. Around the sleeve tat, the back tattoo is it says Chicago with the Chicago skyline under it. Also used the logo to cover that up too and made it transparent, because for some reason my logo kept glitching every time I made it transparent. It kept going back black. But I know how to fix it now, but I'm not going back and changing it. So yeah. Personally, I think his face texture is just a little bit too light compared to the rest of his body. I tried to make his body lighter, but when I did that, he just looked too light compared to how he always was. He's actually still a little bit too light compared to how his skin tone used to be, but it works out. It's next gen, so we rocking with it. So his face texture, I might eventually darken it, but as of right now, I'm just rocking with it. So that's his face right there. You already know me, same attire from previous games. I started this attire for the first time in SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, and myself, I have this thing to where when I make an attire and I like it, I want to perfect it, and this is perfection right here for Brian Black's attire. This is how Brian Black's attire was supposed to be for the longest time. Brian Black was a real person. This is how I would want him to look. So you got the black. I didn't put the bullet holes over the logo this time just because it didn't look right to me this time. You got the black, you got the Desert Eagle in gold for the L. I got that idea from Infamous last year when he made the logo for me. Made the glove a little bit different. It's still the same but different. So that works out perfectly. He came out amazing this year to me, in my opinion. The entrance attire is different this year, and for those of you that probably remember Richie Rich, he actually has on the entrance attire that Richie Rich has been wearing for like the past 2 to 3 years. The reason being is because the trench coat that Brian Black used to wear, it doesn't look right this year to me. So I decided to change it. I tried the Undertaker trench coat, and the only reason I didn't use it, I love how it looks, but the only reason I didn't use it was because I can't change the studs, the little circle rhinestones in the jacket. I can't change the color of that. Maybe I could have put a logo over it, but I would have done a lot of logos. I probably would have ran out of layers. So yeah, so this works out for me though. I kind of think he looks kind of like Young Jeezy in the face with the hat and the glasses on, but that could have just be me. Not too much, but kind of similar. But yeah, like this is his second attire for next gen. I did this attire for the first time, I think it was WWE 12, I think. But of course it looks way better now because it's the actual picture, how I really want it to look. On the back you got the Chicago skyline, kind of, you know, in an oval shape to go around the back of the trunks. I wanted to put Chicago at the top on the side, but I ran out of logos. I ran out of layers actually, so yeah. On the front, see the black inside the white Chicago skyline with like the ink blotch background. I like how that looks. And the boots look like this because compared to the last boots you just seen, it didn't look right when I did it the same way. So I did some makeshift kick pads, but they aren't really kick pads. They still just boots, just with straps on them. So yeah, the glove is still the same, just a different logo. The jacket's still the same, just different logo, different color. I love how this attire came out though. I actually been playing this attire a lot more than the first one recently, ever since I did it. The all white everything. Remember I said I was gonna put black in the all white attire, and everybody was like, wait, black in the all white attire? I don't see how. I'm like, trust me, it'll work. So this is the second person I've made on next gen, just in case. Get a good spin. Just in case attire is exactly the same as it was in W2K14 and W13 and 12. And yeah, this attire, I think I think it was 11. It was either 11 or 12. That's a face texture for those of you that's wondering. I don't know who face texture it is. Yeah, the size, you can kind of see the outline of the texture. I wish I could have made it look a little bit better, but it works out for right now. I might go back eventually and change it. But yeah, yeah. Well, like how it came out though. I chose that hair because, you know, obviously we don't have a lot of different hairstyles on next gen. So I said, what's the closest hair I can give him that can replicate, you know, what he usually had, and that was it. I had him with some long hair at first, but I was like, I don't like it. This attire came out exactly the same, just way better. You got the blame on the back inside the maple leaf. That's supposed to signify blame Canada. So whenever just in case is done something, you blame Canada for just in case, basically. The kick pads, I just like how this attire came up here. I always did actually, but it just looks way better now, more realistic of course, because it's actual pictures. Kick pads this year have to be done differently now, because it can't just be one logo on the front and stretched around, because on next gen you get this fading effect when you stretch logos too far. So the front kick pad is actually this, the whole back trunk is actually on the front of his kick pad. And then the back of the kick pad, I basically just made a square and put the same logos, the same design on the top and the front, on the top and the back, and made the back of the kick pad. The jacket, same thing as last year. If you didn't see it, then no matter, you didn't see it. So, but yeah, that's just in case. This is blame Canada attire. I've always liked this attire way better than all the other attires I made for him. As of right now, he only has one attire. And next we have Mr. DC Nation, Darius Chains. You just see in the creation video, Darius Chains. I've been making Darius Chains since W12. And yeah. This is Darius Chains. That is a face texture, for those of you that's asking. Basically, everybody I make is going to have a face texture, so, yeah. I don't know who some of these textures are. Some of the face textures I do know, some of the face textures I don't know that I find. But, yeah, I just do random searches on Google for face textures. Now, I've been getting a lot of people talking about his big lips. Couldn't do nothing about it, but oh well, he got a big lip, so, yeah, suck it up. But yeah, this DC, gave him the short hair again this year. I gave him long hair when I first made him in 12, short hair in 13, long hair again in 14, and now short hair again in 15. Tattoos are different because they don't have the same in-game logos from last year, so not really a deal breaker. I was going to import his logo, but I just decided against it. Attire is exactly the same. As you see in the creation video, you saw how I put this attire together. This entire idea originally, when I made him in W12, the reason I made Darius Chains was to see if I could make somebody without the crotch blur glitch, because I heard that it wasn't going to be in 13. So his boots are different this year, by the way. I used the Booker T boots, of course, like you see in the video. They just manipulated them to my liking. But I heard that the crotch blur wasn't going to be in the game, so I wanted to see if I could make somebody without using the crotch blur. Thus, Darius Chains was born. And ever since then, I love the character. So this entire idea came from a mixture of Dolph Ziggler, John Morrison, and JTG's second attire when he left Crime Time. So yeah, the jacket, of course, it looks the same as Just In Case in a way. Him and Just In Case has always had like a similar-esque jacket. The only reason is because that's the only leather jacket in the game that looks decent. And yeah, so they're different but the same at the same time. So, well yeah, Darius Chains, everybody. He will be on the CC soon once I think of a second attire. Bones has been made since for the longest time. I think way back to WrestleMania 2000. Here's the mentor of Brian Black, where Brian Black started out. Brian Black owes Bones everything that he knows, but now they hate each other. So yeah, for those of you that started out my channel way back in 08 when I started, you should remember some of those storylines. But this is Bones. That's a face texture. As you can see, he did some things while he was in prison. Been through some things. Looked like he been through some things. Like I said again, random face texture. I made it a little bit darker because it wasn't dark enough. And yeah, this is Bones. So, the prison jumpsuit idea, I was looking at Luke Harper or Eric Rowan, that's his name. Eric Rowan jumpsuit, and I knew for a fact that it would look good in orange. I just knew it would. That's where the prison's jumpsuit idea came from. Of course, Bones wasn't in Alcatraz, but because it's closed down now. But I just went with Alcatraz. That is actually the Alcatraz font from the back of their uniform, at the front of their uniform. I just took it, cut it out, and put it in the game. So yeah. Story behind Bones: he was supposed to retire from RTW. But what happened was, the year that he was gonna retire, he ended up going back to prison for the second time. The second time he went to prison for assault because some little young punk held him up at gunpoint and tried to rob him from for his money while he was on his way to the arena. Luckily for unluckily for the kid, I should say, Bones was having a bad day that day. He got into it with his wife earlier before he left the house. And Bones is a former amateur boxer way back in the day, so years ago. So yeah, one thing led to the other. He beat that boy ass, and yeah, he got arrested the second time. First time, way back in the day, he got arrested for attempted murder. Did some hard time, but yeah, then found his way into wrestling and changed his ways. But yeah, this is Bones. I like how he came out this year. The Alcatraz jumpsuit is on point. I like it a lot. And here we have Bones' second attire. Same thing as the orange jumpsuit, just altered to be his own wrestling attire. Before anybody says anything, I'm gonna get this out the way. This belt, tied up in the back, karate belt, whatever, it is supposed to mimic the upper body of this jumpsuit, pulled down around his waist. Obviously it's not, but it's supposed to mimic that, which is why the logos are there. Luckily we can put logos on belts this year. That's why everything is like that. So just get out that out the way now. But this is Bones' second attire. You wanna know where I got the logo from? Way back, I can't remember when I had these logos saved, because I searched Bones logo or Bone logo, and I came across these and I liked them. Had them saved ever since. Made them for the first time in Paint 2 on Smash Road 2011, and now I actually imported the real picture. All these tattoos, well not all of them, but the two chest tattoos and the back tattoo are imported pictures for his tattoos. I got the west side on the back. Of course he's from California. Got the LA with the two girls on the chest, and I got the west side logo with the skeleton fingers, skeleton hand. I like how this all came out real good. Got the BDB right there with the cross at the bottom, Big Daddy Bone. That's what the BDB stands for. Life on the neck, ugly ass R-Truth tattoos on the side. You know, got the prison mark tallies right there because he did some time. This weak ass Rey Mysterio, well, it ain't weak, but it has to do for right now because I couldn't find no sleeve tattoo for him. So yeah. But this is Bones' second attire. This is the last person of the video. Stay tuned, and I'll be back soon, hopefully. I'm out.